Hello Team ELC in the Eildon West Learning Community. I'm Roddy Graham, I'm the Inspire Learning Strategic Lead for this year, and I've put together this wee video for you to support you with your iPad use. Hopefully you'll find it helpful, and there may be more to come in the coming weeks if it works nicely. So there's going to be 6 different topics covered on this video. There's going to be one about taking photographs of ELC children, sharing documents with your staff team, making use of the cloud, both the Apple, iCloud and OneDrive, the apps that are available, which are just on self-service, but I'm going to talk about the web apps that you can also use on the iPad too, some examples of digital learning journeys and how you're able to use them, and finishing off with backing up things that are on your iPad. So the first topic is about photographing ELC children. The question is, are we allowed to take photos of the children using the iPads? If you have the permissions, you'll find that details with your admin staff in the office. If you've got permissions for photographs, that covers it on the iPads as well. So it's a fairly simple answer to this one. Yes, you can do it. You can take photos. You can share them on the various different apps as well within the iPad, so long as you have those permissions. What I'll do just now for you is I'll show some handy ways that you can take photographs, as well as ways that you can store them safely as well. So I'm sure that most of you will know that to take a photo, the camera app is the way to go. So you can see the camera dial on my little dock at the bottom. If you tap on that, the camera loads up and it's just a white button to take your photo. But what you can do with that is you can do some really good editing stuff on the iPad. So if you click on the photo, you can see the options at the top. You're given the one for edit. Up there are multiple different ways that you can edit it. The first one is all about ways that you can change things like brightness and highlights, etc. on it, so you can make things look darker, look brighter, like so. The next one down the left hand side is your filters, so you can change them just like you would on social media, and you can change what the photo looks like. The last one is where you can crop it. Now there's some options at the top here. If you click on the little panel at the top, which is the third from the right, you're given some ones where you can choose the original. You can freeform, so you can crop it yourself. You can go with a square, a flatter one, and various different frames that are there. Okay, and you can also go with different sizes there for mobile phone sizes as well. So that's nice and easy for you to do. To save after you've done an edit, you just press done in the top right hand corner, and it will just frame that for you there. So that's some ways that you can use your photographs and camera skills to support your taking of photos in your ELC. Another good app that's available in self-service is Microsoft Lens, and that is more of a one for scanning documents. So if we click on the Lens one here, it'll open it up, and on the right hand side it'll give you some choices of different types of documents that you can take. If you just choose the document one here, you can see that I'm taking the photo of this page in front of me. And then what it does is you're able to frame it right so that you're only seeing the actual page itself. So this is good if you've got work that a child does, or some mark making things. You can do that like so, and then all you get is the frame to make it look like an actual page. You can then press done. You can then change that, and it can upload it to Photos or OneDrive or wherever you want it to go. You can export it in that way. And then what you can also do is you can share it on your smartboard as well. So it's the Office Lens app where you're able to take documents. You can also annotate on it. You can add some ink on it as well if you want to write any wee comments. Next topic is on sharing and editing documents. The question is, how do we share documents between staff, and can we edit on one device and then the other staff can see on their device? So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. There's 2 cloud-based systems that are around. There's the Apple iCloud, and there's also the OneDrive system. Both of these you have access to in various different ways. I'll show you in a wee bit more detail that later on, but it's quite simple to be able to get a document on your device and then edit it so that other people can see the edits as well. And I'll show you some examples of how you can quickly do that using both the Pages tool and Word tool as well in the upcoming video. So for sharing and editing documents, one of the best ways to do that is by using things like Pages. Pages is the Apple version of Word. So if I just start on a blank document in here, you can see that it loads very, very quickly, and you're able to start your typing like so. Once you've got your document all made, you can then do what's called collaborate. And collaborate is your way that you can share with multiple people, and they will get all the updates as you go. So to do that, you tap the little person at the top with the plus symbol, and then when you're on there, you slide it along to copy link. Click on that, and then you put in here the Apple ID email address of the people that you want to share it with. So you pop in their details, press copy link, and then they will have access to their work. The way that they will be able to find it for the first time that they go on is if you come into here and click share documents, all of these ones that are here have been shared with me by me to other people, or by other people to me. So then they'll find that in there. That also works with Keynote and Numbers as well. So if you're creating any presentations or spreadsheets, you can go by that way as well. If you're using OneDrive for sharing, you'll probably be used to it on the computer. It works exactly the same on the iPad. So you download the OneDrive app. From here, you can then upload files into OneDrive. You can create folders as well. So if we come in here and just create one which we call ELC demo, then what I can do is it will create the folder. You can then upload any files you want into there. But to share that folder, you press the three dots at the side of the folder. You press the share icon. You then type in the email address of the people that you want to share it to, or if you don't want to share, if you want to share it a bit wider, you can go anyone with the link and then copy the link at the bottom, and then you can email that out to anyone. So if you've put their email address in, or you've shared them the link and it's on anyone with the link can view, then they can have access to the things in there. So we've just had a little look at sharing and editing documents, but there is more things that the cloud is useful for. So this part of the video goes over that. The question is, how do we use the cloud, either the Apple iCloud or OneDrive on these iPads? And what I'll do is I'll take some screen recordings using both the Apple iCloud and the OneDrive for you, so you can see how best to use that in your setting. So on the iPad, there are two cloud-based services that are available. There's the Apple iCloud and there's also OneDrive. If you open up the Files app, which looks like a wee folder at the bottom in blue, you can see that down the the left-hand side, you've got iCloud Drive and OneDrive there. So your iCloud Drive is all of your Apple things that get stored. So if you're working on Pages, Keynote, Numbers, then it all just saves automatically to the iCloud once you've signed in. And the other one is OneDrive there, which you can also access on the Files app. If you've not set up your Apple ID to do that, you just press the Settings tool up here. So that's my one there. Yours will have nothing there. You sign in initially and then you're able to get it all sorted from there. This was quite a popular question. It was talking about apps. Is it only the apps that are in the self-service that we can use, and can we get any other apps? So there's a long answer and there's a short answer, and I'll go through them both for you just now. The short answer is that yes, the only apps that you can use are in self-service. The slightly longer version of that answer is that it is only those apps that are there. However, there is a process for requesting apps. There is a little cost involved in it, so it's something to consider with that. But one of the other good tools that you can use is what's called the web apps, and that's where you find an app or a website that you use on Safari, and you can turn that into an app by adding it to your home screen. What I'll do in the next wee video is I'll show you how to use websites and add them in on your home screen, so you're able to launch them just like you would with normal apps, and it might be quite a handy wee thing for you to try in your setting. So all the apps that are Borders approved are in self-service. So if we tap on that, you can see the full list of things that are in here. So you can download any of these ones that are listed in the self-service. If an app isn't there, as I said earlier, you have to request it, and I can send you the details on how to do that. But there is a cost involved, and if it's just your nursery that's wanting it added to self-service, the cost can be quite high. If it was a number of schools, then you would share the cost between you. But what can be really quite useful is if you use the web version of the site that you're trying to get onto, and you can create that as a wee app. So if I come into Safari here, I can see that I've loaded up BBC CBeebies stories site. If I want that as an app on the iPad tile, because it's a place that I go to quite regularly, I press the share arrow at the top, which is the square with the pointing up arrow, and then you can change it to add to home screen. So if I tap on that once, it will give me the link, story time, stories for kids. The website is there too, and it says that an icon will be added to your home screen so you can quickly access this website. And if I press add, you will see that website there, and then every time that I tap on that, it opens it up just like it would with an app. So then you're able to access it there. So some of them are quite a handy way of using it. If you use it quite a lot, you can do it in that simple way there. So it's share button, add to home screen, and then press add, and you get the copy just like that. Next up, we're going to look at learning journeys. The question is, would it be possible to digitise learning journeys? The answer to that is a resounding yes, and that is by using the programme which most of ELC are going to use in Eildon West in the coming months, and that is Shobi. So Shobi is a great tool that we now have access to across the borders, and it's a way where you can digitise your learning journeys in a very simple and safe way, and you can then also connect your parents into this to share it with them. I'll guide you through just now how we've used Shobi at Tweed Bank, and you can see some examples of that from our ELC set. So when you have your Shobi class set up, you're able to add on various different pieces of learning evidence, just like you can see here. I've got in blue, I've marked out all the names and things, so it's all anonymous. But you can see that you can add in photos, you can add in health and well-being, E's and O's, for example, as you can see there, number ones as well. You can add in little comments too, so you can describe what's happening in the photos, and eventually you'll be able to get your parents onto this as well, so that they can see all the lovely learning that's going on in your nurseries. You can make use of the class discussion section, and on that you're able to add in things for the entire nursery in one go. So you can see an example here that it's another fun learning week at nursery. Measuring, counting, investigating, forest art, bug hunting, tree climbing, and lots of wow moments with all the photos that show those things in underneath that. So you're able to do that all in the one place, really safe, really secure, and you're able to share for everyone. Just do it one click. And there's also a point called shared items, where you can either share new posts with everyone that's in part of the class, or you can share it to specific people too. So you can't see it because I've blocked it out, but 2 of the nursery pupils were in this one and their names were listed there, and only those pupils got a copy of the things that were uploaded in that way. So it's a really cool tool to use. I think there's going to be some further training for ELC with Shobi as time goes on, but if you're looking into digital learning profiles, this is certainly the tool that I would say you'd be best to use. And finally this week we're going to look at backing up. The question is, how does the iPad back up any files or photos or videos? The good news is it does it automatically if you set it up in the settings app. I'll guide you through how to do that in the next wee while, and I'll also share exactly what it is that is backed up and how you can also access these on a computer as well as just from your iPad device. For backing things up, you need to go and check your Apple ID. So if you go to the settings app, make sure that you're logged into your Apple ID. It will then say the iCloud section. If you tap on that, it will show you how much storage room you've got. So you can see that I've got 17.5GB out of 200GB. So you've got loads and loads of room on there. You can choose here which apps use the iCloud and what gets backed up from there. So some of them are the Apple ones, some of them are the ones you can download from self-service. But to make sure that your Apple iCloud backup is on, it should be turned on automatically, but it might say off. If you tap on there, you can toggle it between turning it off, turning it on, and you're also given the option to back up now. So if you're needing something backed up there and then, you can tap back up now and everything will get sorted from there. And that's your video done for this time. I'm hoping that you found it useful. If you need to get in contact with me about anything to do with the Inspire Learning Programme or your iPad, it's gw12grahamroddy3@glow.sch.uk, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have for me. There will be some further training sessions up and coming. These are going to be shared on the Schoolhouse page, but it could be a wee while until they arrive. If there's anything else that I can help you with in the meantime, please get in touch, and we'll look forward to working with you over the course of this year.